Hey guys, it's Krystle back at it again with another video, and today I have a very special guest. This is Mason.
Hi everyone.
So Mason and I met because he's actually from my alma mater, the Stanford University Online High School. We have lots of videos about that you can check out. If you guys don't know me, I'm Krystle. I graduated from Columbia University, and obviously I talk a lot about Columbia on this channel, but today we're going to be talking about how to get into Yale. So today we wanted to film a video because Mason is a new member of our team majoring in biology and data science. We wanted to introduce him to all of you guys as a mentor for college applications, tutor for school, standardized test, research mentor in STEM, anything you guys might need. We'll talk a little more about those specifics later, but especially we want to go over Mason's perspective on applying to Yale, what he thinks got him in, what he feels like they're looking for in their applicants, and just helping you guys to ideally do the same. Before we get into it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notifications bell.
Yeah. Hi everyone. So as Crystal said, I'm really super interested and looking forward to helping you guys out with anything in my power.
So, why did you pick Yale in the first place? Why was it your dream school?
But Yale specifically, what drew me to it was I think one common thread that I've heard from Yale alumni is that it's a very like intellectually vibrant and diverse community, and it's very encouraging about like varied interests and the merging of different viewpoints and talents. So I've heard many stories about how there are students studying both like creative writing and musical instrument, or someone passionate about physics and like learning about the history of dinnerware. And it's just these quirky combinations was what really drew me to it, and it's very encouraging of a broad academic experience. And so I'm able to take really advanced courses that are in certain subject areas and complement that with a really broad interdisciplinary education. I think one benefit of Yale is that a lot of its majors don't have that many requirements as compared to other schools, and so that allows you to really take a diverse education. And it's also something that I really want because I'm interested in a lot of fields from like biology, chemistry, math, stats, and also just like non-STEM subjects such as medical ethics and health policies. So yeah, that was the main reason.
Yeah, that sounds super exploratory, which makes a lot of sense. As you guys know, I went to Columbia, which has a very strict, specific core curriculum. So if you guys want a really specific kind of history of Western civilization and kind of that well-rounded education, Columbia is probably for you. But Yale definitely celebrates exploration, the arts as well as the sciences. So you've already started touching on this, but were there any specific values or programs that Yale has that you feel like specifically drew you to it?
Yeah, so I think um one thing that I got just from looking over Yale's offerings and programs is that it's very keen on using academia to serve society, which is something that I really resonate with and that aligns with like what I accomplished through my own activities in research, education, and support. And there's just so many research opportunities and undergrad funding. They have, I think, like a specific fund for first year researchers and then also for continued research. And it's just like this dedication to the undergraduate experience that really drew me to Yale. I also really liked its residential college systems where you can form like extremely close friendships and a support network that will continue, throughout your lifetime. And then kind of going back to the, um, you know, encour Yale encouraging a very broad academic experience. One thing that I really liked is the shopping period at the start of every school year, and that basically allows you to take different classes and preview them, I think, for the first 2 weeks and explore what classes you might want to end up taking. Um, and yeah, that was something that I found really cool. So,
So we already mentioned what your major is, bio, data science, but is there anything that drew you to that? Why are you picking those fields?
yeah, okay, so I think I'll start off with statistics because that was like I guess my first interest of the two. So I'm really interested in data science because of like the power and application of statistics in nearly every single field. So it's able to, predict, model, simulate, analyze risk. There are just so many things that statistics can do. And I've been starting from like a really young age, just trying to learn more about statistics and use statistics in everyday issues that I encounter. And then specifically, one application I'm really interested in is in bio because especially cancer research and oncology. I just think cancer biology is kind of the opposite of statistics in that statistics is this tool that is able to organize data and bring in this sense of predictability and certainty in every situation. Whereas biology and cancer is this like extremely mysterious phenomenon that is uncertain and constantly we're trying to learn, uncover more mysteries about it, and we have so much more to learn still. And so just being able to apply statistics, this tool that is able to measure predictability into something that is so unpredictable like cancer is really fascinating to me. And it's something that I want to continue doing in the future. Yeah.
Those both sound like really amazing fields to go down, and I'm sure that you're going to make a big splash in both of them.
Thank you.
Into your research in those in just a little bit, but if you're comfortable, could you kind of tell the people who are watching about your GPA, your SAT, test scores, ACT, extracurriculars, just kind of the stats rundown if you're comfy?
Yeah, yeah. So GPA, I think my unweighted was 3.99, and then my weighted was like 4.83, something like that. I took a lot of APs and university level classes.
Okay.
Um, yeah. And then, so my SATs, okay, I'm just gonna say it's like above 1550. I'll just keep it at that because I feel like it doesn't really matter that much, beyond it. I feel like GPAs are much, more important and coursework compared to tests. But yeah, just do on do on your classes, focus on your classes. And then extracurriculars. So like I said, my main interests were in statistics and cancer research. So most of my extracurriculars kind of revolved around those two fields. So I had my own statistics research organization where I basically taught students statistics, helped them apply statistics into their own like passion and niche, and help them conduct passion projects using statistics and then submitting that to conferences, presenting it, connecting them to internships, statistics internships, and stuff like that. And then I also had, I guess, a version of that as a club for my school. So I led several group projects, and that kind of allowed me to go more into the nitty-gritty of leading projects versus like high-level leadership and management. That was more so focused for my larger organization. And then I also did a lot of cancer research, which we can definitely talk about in a little bit. And I also did some cancer volunteering. So I had a support organization for teens affected by cancer, where we paired teen cancer patients with support volunteers to help them, with emotional guidance and support throughout the process. And then we also had an information hub that portrayed and rewrote cancer information in a more comprehensible manner. But yeah, those are my two main, I guess, categories of extracurriculars. I also did other volunteering, and I also played in a band and stuff like that. But yeah, I'll keep it at there. Yeah.
I'll bet that Yale really liked that you started your own organization. I definitely see that a lot with the kids that we help at my IB education getting into Yale. Definitely having a big organization that's kind of your own self-motivated, self-started thing that has a really big impact seems really helpful for sure. And I think it's because just so many people don't realize that that is accessible as a young person. And it can be so empowering to actually start something on your own. And then, it's not like, oh, just start a nonprofit and get your parents to run the whole thing and just put you on
Exactly.
at all. When you're actually running something, it's insane what kind of an impact you can have. Like, I've seen kids be able to run nonprofits that reach up to 10,000 people and help them do that. So I think honestly, like starting your own organization, I feel like it's almost a little bit underrated sometimes. If you're
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, if you're really doing it with your own passion, there are so many opportunities that are accessible. Obviously, they do take work, but I'll bet y'all really liked that about you.
Yeah, I think there's this like impression that like awards are really important and like winning competitions, and sure, that's definitely one way to demonstrate your passion and interests, but also with like starting organizations and making an impact in this way is also really important, and definitely like it's not any way inferior to awards. And it just really shows you utilizing your passion in a different way and for like service and for benefiting society. I think that's one common thread that schools nowadays really care about too. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Just actually caring about the people around you. So important. And if it's just a
yeah,
reflection of your caring, then that's even better. And in addition, I know that you did some really cool opportunities where you did the Stanford GRIPS program for gene research. You were accepted to summer science program and did some really cool research over at different Stanford labs. So could you tell people a little bit about what that was like for you, what kind of research you were doing, how you kind of found and tracked down those opportunities, and what you think helped with getting those on your resume?
yeah. Okay, so I think I'll start with like my research journey in general. I obviously didn't just like start interning for Stanford professors from a young age. So I actually conducted some independent research with my sister organization first. So it kind of started out with me reaching out to like industry professionals and mentors and conducting independent research there and independent projects. So I've done project study on like using neural networks to create a health index for determining what type of chocolate is most heart healthy and best at preventing cardiovascular disease. And then I've also done a project on studying basketball players' knee injury risks and how fatigue kind of affects that. So I did these like independent projects through my organization and starting there. And then eventually I kind of branched out more into medicine when I, realized that passion.
I think that's going to be so helpful for so many people. That is really informative. And definitely, I think also during COVID, even getting in touch and starting the independent research from that stage before you do maybe a formal research program, that got even harder because so many labs were closed down. A lot of
Exactly.
changed their guidelines for some reason to only allow older students or non-high school students during that time. So that's also a big part of what you can help out with, where we help connect you guys with those research mentors. Mason, obviously, that's something that you can do now as well, which is super exciting. So if you guys are having any trouble with finding research mentors, email us. We've got your back. And then, Mason, so if you're comfortable with it, would you mind talking a little bit about your essays, maybe how you went about finding topics, what the topics were, if you're able to share that? Love to hear kind of what you think worked for you.
Yeah. So my essay was on, so I basically used statistics I wrote about using statistics in cooking and optimizing cooking variables to make a really like important dish for my parents. And um that I think so I the kind of crux of the essay, the reason why I wrote it was because I wanted to use to portray statistics in a more in a different manner, in a way that kind of has this like emotional and tangible connection to real life, because I talked about how statistics is commonly seen as this really like boring and monotonous field. And so I wanted to show different ways I could make an impact through statistics. And yeah, so I think uh this idea took a lot of time to think about. I had many drafts of I knew I kind of wanted to write something related to statistics because it was such a big interest of mine, but I had a really hard time writing it in in a way that connected with people. And I think that's a common thread with writing about STEM subjects and STEM fields, is to try not to come off as boring. And so I think it just takes a lot of brainstorming, and don't be afraid of just like throwing away drafts. Like this is, I think my final draft was like idea number 12 or something. I had 11 different ideas before that just didn't work. And I think there were a lot of times in the process when I just was like really overwhelmed, and I was like, am I ever going to end up with a draft that I would be happy with? I feel like everyone goes through that process. And I would just say, really be patient with yourself and really trust yourself. Start early, of course, start early. Can't emphasize that enough. And give yourself the time to brainstorm. And it's okay to throw away drafts. It's okay to abandon them. It's okay to pivot in something completely different. And yeah, so I would just say keep refining your ideas, but stick to your gut. And like I knew I wanted to write about statistics, even though I kind of struggled at time in, being happy with the content. Um, and yeah, just stick to your guts and you'll get there.
I definitely bet that writing about something that you are so passionate about also really shone through in your writing, where it was authentic. You weren't trying to be anyone that you weren't, which
Yeah.
is important. That's something for you guys to remember. Just because Mason wrote about a certain topic, or like I share my essay in another video, just because someone wrote about one specific topic does not mean you should copy that. But what you can take away from it is how it connects to something that you love to do and that you're truly authentically passionate about, because then your voice will shine through so much. And I also want to take a moment to say I think this also really illustrates why it's so important to have the college that's the best fit for you that you're applying to, especially if you're applying ED or EA. I love Columbia, but our stats department in undergrad, everyone kind of hates it. I have a lot of friends who are stats majors. I had to do a lot of stats in my business concentration. It's not our shining star, let's put it that way. But at Yale, I think it's going to be a lot more of a robust experience and, a little bit maybe more intimate with the faculty and that kind of thing. So definitely make sure you do your research about the different departments at these schools. But yes, thank you for that, Mason. That's so helpful. And just overall, do you think there are any characteristics of your application and your narrative that helped you maybe stand out, get into Yale? Any idea of what you think that they're looking for?
Yeah, so I think the reason why I got into Yale was one, I had kind of my own lane, my own niche. I didn't really um uh I guess like my profile was really unique in the sense that I feel like a lot of people who are applying related to my field are very like bio focused or very computer science focused on that side, and I was very like computational biology focused, and I guess that's like less common. But I think in terms of Yale specifically, I think my application just really reflected the values that they were looking for. So I demonstrated kind of my intellectual curiosity in many different ways, like through both mentorship, leadership, tutoring, and also my own research work. So kind of combining both my own research and going really in detail, really being really committed to that, and also being really committed to helping others advance their own interests was what they really liked about me. And then kind of the other part I would say is mentoring and helping others. So I also demonstrated that in many ways, not just through my own academic interests, but also through, cancer support and, helping ESL learners and stuff like that. And so I think just that combination of, providing other support and being passionate about that, and also showcasing, why I'm really interested in what I do in many different ways.
That makes so much sense. Really showing that you have the same values as this college is so important. I mean, I say it all the time on this channel, but you really want to show what you and only you can bring to the school that no other student can, and why that school and only that school is the only place that can offer you something or nourish you in some way where no other school can do that. So it sounds like you did exactly that. And do you have any advice for people who might want to follow in your footsteps and apply to Yale?
Yeah, so applying to Yale, I would say, like you were saying, it's really important that you are your authentic self because not only will that appeal to colleges, but also it'll make sure that you get into a college that you would like because schools accept people based on what how much you resonate with their values, and the more you resonate with their values, the more likely you're going to like that college because it's more similar to that college that college's culture. And so, yeah, so be yourself, of course. And like I said, really demonstrate your passion and curiosity. And that's something that Yale really wants, I feel, really wants to know about you is what are you interested in? And how have you demonstrated that? And try to communicate that through different ways, through across your essays, across your activities. And I also think my recommendation letters also kind of supported that. Sentiment of just me being really curious and also wanting to help others. So yeah, just try to communicate what values are really important to you throughout your application.
Yeah, I like how you even mentioned that the recommendation letters need to be part of that too. That's also so important. I mean, to the point where it's a good idea to honestly tell your teachers some things that you're proud of and the
Yeah,
initiative.
for sure.
Just kind of let them know what might be a good idea to highlight, and then that helps them out and it makes sure that they're going to mention these aspects of who you are that are really important to you.
Yeah, definitely. Go to office hours if your school has them, reach out to your teachers. Yeah, make sure they get to know you. And that not only helps with I know a lot of people say like um no one component of the application is gonna make or break your app, and largely that's going to be true, but also every single part of the app is, important to app and it's going to together portray a picture about you. And so, don't look down on any component of the application and really try to do your best. And also like reaching out to to teachers and is going to be important eventually in college too. And those recommendation letters are going to be even more important. So it's a good habit to start in high school.
Yes, you mentioned office hours. I know a lot of people at our alma mater, the Stanford Online High School, watch this channel. Guys, go to office hours.
Good
Seriously,
offside. Yeah.
it's so helpful. But yeah, okay. Speaking of people who go to that school, well, do you want to tell the viewers a little bit about what kinds of things you can help them out with as a mentor and tutor for my IB education?
Yeah, of course. I so yeah, so I love to help and anything related to my interests and anything that I've done previously. So that ranges from tutoring and tutoring academic subjects, both STEM and non-STEM subjects, and also helping with test prep. And I'd also love to tap into more of like my research background and help you guys find research opportunities specifically in the field and in the medical and statistics fields, if that's something that you're really interested in. I'd love to connect you and help you find opportunities and some opportunities and internships in research positions. And then also I'd love to help with you know, applying applications for college. So yeah, those I guess would be the main things.
Yes, you guys, Mason brings those Stanford and Yale connections. Reach out to us, email us. We'll put you in touch with him. Whatever you need help with, he is happy to help out. And we are just every single one of us on the team. So don't hesitate if you have any questions, want someone to help you out with different courses or connecting you with research or applying to Yale next year. Reach out, the earlier the better, because that way we can help you out and really get in there on the ground floor. Thank you so much for this, Mason. I think that people are going to get
Oh yeah,
so.
of course.
And definitely, you guys make sure if you learned something from this video to like and subscribe to the channel. And let us know down below where you guys are committing if you're seniors, or if you applied to Yale this year, if you want to apply to Yale if you're not a senior yet. I really want to know where everyone is going. That'll be so exciting. And yeah, seriously, like, reach out and share this video with your friends, because friends help friends. And we'll see you guys in the next video.
Thank you, Krystle, for having me.
Thank you so much, Mason. And thank you guys for watching. Bye.